Hi, and welcome back to Rave TV. I'm Joel Rollins, and I'm here with Alan McLeod of Revo Labs. Full disclosure, when I have my dealer hat on, I'm a Revo Labs dealer. Anyway, thanks for being with us.
Thanks, Joel.
So, how's the show for you so far?
The show's been very, very good. It's been a really good, steady level of traffic. People who are genuinely asking questions, not just trying to find out what's going on or get free Trotskys. So it's been a really good show.
Okay, are you announcing anything new at the show?
So we're not announcing anything. We're showing a product we're bringing out in July, which is the Yamaha YVC 300. Obviously, Revo Labs is owned by Yamaha, so that's a portable conference phone, connects to USB into Bluetooth, so it's for bringing you into a UC system with a bring your own device PC, or using your mobile phone for connectivity.
Oh, I'm well familiar with Revo Labs' existing conference phone and your microphones, right? Both, which are the things that I would know you for. I didn't know about the Yamaha relationship though.
Yeah, we were acquired about 2 years ago, and so what's basically happening is as Yamaha has obviously got a very strong business in Japan in conference phones, and obviously a global name in musical instruments as well as motorbikes. So we're bringing the Yamaha's products they've had very successfully in Japan out into the rest of the world, and they're taking our products into Japan for us.
Okay, and that'll be under the Yamaha name?
So the Yamaha products remain under the Yamaha name, sold by Revo Labs, and the Revo Labs remain under the Revo Labs name, sold by Yamaha.
Okay, good, because Revo Labs is some of you, when your new conference phone came out, and this was some time ago, I had to put one in my own conference room because it was just, it met all the requirements for that, especially the way it was compatible with being dialed, because we all carry devices now.
Right, yes.
So that's great. What's the new Yamaha piece going to be like?
So it's
or am I asking questions I shouldn't be asking yet?
No, not at all. We're showing it on our booth, so if anyone's available, they can sort of come over and see it. So it's a device that's about this size. So what's that, 7 or 8 inches across. It's triangular shaped. It's fairly low form factor. It's designed to be carried. It's not a backpack portable device for a single user. It's very focused on the huddle room environment. And so the concept will be that a customer who doesn't want to deploy equipment in every single room, but does want to allow quality audio in an AV environment or UC environment, they can pick one up, take it into the room they're going to use it, and then put it back when they finish the meeting.
So it occupies a rather new in-between territory. Because I'm very familiar. I carry the Jabra USB, and that's great for a single person or 2 people.
Yep.
And I carry it in my notebook bag. And then I have your conference phone in my conference room. So this is now something that goes in between that.
Exactly, yes. And so it's a use case that's very, very strong in Japan and in parts of Asia, where they typically are not deploying equipment in rooms, and they do want to carry them in. And also it's very, very useful when you have that open plan huddle environment.
Oh boy.
Where you don't want to leave the equipment on the table because maybe it goes missing.
Right.
And so now you just walk in, you can drop it down as you need it. Use your phone or you use your PC to be the connectivity to whatever infrastructure you need, but then take it with you. And it's very convenient to carry. It's not very heavy, and you only need 1 cable.
Great. That sounds really interesting, because we're now seeing clients designing not even huddle spaces, simply flexible spaces. We can use this for meeting. We can bring in freelancers and house them in here. We can do, so that means that the ability to move that around. How's setup time?
How long does it take you to sit down?
Okay, well that's positive too.
Yeah, so it's, literally it's plug it in. The pairing of a mobile phone, so if you're using an Android phone with NFC on it, it's literally tap it or enable the Bluetooth tap, and it pairs. So
what about those of us who are iOS junkies?
So Apple makes you go through a sort of manual setup pairing process, but it's as hard as pairing your headset. So
that's not hard at all. Yeah, and with the next generation of auto pairing in iOS, that's probably going to help too.
Yeah, so when they support the NFC simple pairing for Bluetooth, that would be a tap and go.
Wow, that's great. So tell me, what's next for Revo Labs? I've watched you for the last several years, and you seem to always bring out something really innovative in the category that you're in. What's next?
So for us, obviously, a little bit of history. We started off with wireless microphones, and we were the first company to use the DECT audio spectrum, and we keep pushing that further and further forward. So our current generation supports a very, very high density, so 44 microphones in a single DECT space in North America, or 76 over in Europe. We're also innovating around using AVB for backhaul, so keep the signal digital, use over Ethernet networks. We're seeing other vendors start to talk a lot more about that, infrastructure vendors. And let me not say who they are, let them talk for themselves if you don't mind. Yeah, we work very closely with companies like Biamp, who are also AVB enabled, and that's just a simple installation for our customers and for our partners, which is obviously critical.
The shakeout of that market. I happen to be an AVB fan.
Right.
And I'm a member, and it's one of those things where that's the way I see the most benefits in AVB of all of the AV networking standards that are coming
Right.
out. So I'm really glad you support that one too. It makes me glad to be a dealer.
Thank you.
So where's your booth?
So I actually can't remember the booth number. I think it's N2212. So it's over in the other wing to where we are
It
right
is
now.
N2212. Someone
Thank
is
you.
signaling us here. That's great. So you're in North Hall.
Yes.
Okay. And the new Yamaha device. What else are the highlights of your exhibit this year?
So we're really starting to focus much more on use case and much less on technologies. And that's, whilst technology is fundamentally important, if without the right technology it doesn't work, it's not actually what customers really want to hear from us. They want to hear how we're fixing their business problems. So we've set our booth up to look, or not so to look like, but to be partitioned up by the different room types. So huddle room section, executive meeting room section, etc. like that. And so then we can offer the full range of products we have pertinent to each of those markets. And depending on what you're trying to do, so maybe if you have an auditorium, you're looking for the ability to amplify the speaker and put it throughout the room, but maybe you also want to backhaul it and take it over into a remote conferencing environment. So we're talking very much in those terms now. So that's one aspect of it. The other thing we're recognizing is historically we've been a very technical industry. We've talked about technologies. And again, as I was saying, that's not fixing business problems directly. It indirectly fixes the business problem. The other thing we're seeing, and I think this is the evolution from analog telephony, voice over IP, UC, mobile, is that companies are still trying to have the same meeting they always had when we sat in the same room, but now spread out over thousands of miles possibly in multiple different locations. But to deliver that same face-to-face experience is about really delivering a collaboration story. So we're very much focused on how can we enable collaboration. I mean, there are parts we don't want to do. The infrastructure vendors have great solutions. We want to partner with them. We don't want to compete with them. So we want to continue to be that peripheral device that sits on the table that the customer directly interacts with. So with a physical interface into that infrastructure.
One of the things in looking at the demographics of this year's show, we have more new companies coming to the show than in any previous year. I mean, people from because our industry is merging with IT and with a lot of other parts of that communications industry, we have many new companies entering our business. Tell me how does Revo Labs distribute?
So we go through, in a straight distribution question, we exclusively go through distributors. We don't sell direct to customers.
Okay.
We've, over the years, have obviously built great relationships with some integrators who are very knowledgeable audio people who understand the pitfalls. And I think this is the interesting transition the industry is now facing, that so much of this technology is very IT-centric. And so we're seeing traditional IT people get closer and closer to it. But that hasn't changed the environment. The rooms don't work any better than they used to.
Yeah.
And that intrinsic knowledge that sits with those systems integrators is still needed. Now, the problem for those guys is that the expectations of the customer is different. They're not looking for that very expensive install of a perfectly integrated system. They are looking for some rooms to be very, very quick, fit and go. And so we're making sure our products take a lot of that pain away. It's still this environment where our partners can still go in and add value, particularly in the higher end rooms. But in those smaller end rooms, they'll be able to very quickly say, okay, this is the right product for these reasons. You have a very reverberant environment, you guys have a lot of strong echo cancellation and things like that.
So who are your U.S. distributors?
So we work with companies like Starin and ScanSource and SureView, those sort of organizations.
Okay, so the big ones.
Yes.
That's really great. Folks, I'll speak as a dealer here and say things I'm not supposed to. There's some very innovative products at Revo Labs. Stop by and see them. Booth number again?
It's N2212.
Stop by and see them in the North Hall. Thanks, folks, and thank you for being with us.
Thank you very much for the time.